My full name is Miriam Leanne Blackwell, but I go by Leanne. I was born in Brownsville, Texas in 1988. I guess since I moved away, I've not been living in Brownsville for almost 4 years, and so much of who I was there, immersed in the culture and immersed in the city, stayed there. Of course, I am who I am. You can't strip your past. But there's a lot of Brownsville that has just not necessarily been repressed. It's just I've moved so far past, I guess the experiences in Brownsville. I know that may be vague, but well, when I was young, I had really, really great memories of going to Mexico a lot and going to the beach a lot. That was so part of who I am. I actually thought of getting a tattoo when I was, younger, though I didn't, saying, "On the border by the sea." That was Brownsville's, motto. And I thought that was really special because, before the violence got too bad in Matamoros, what we would do on Sundays, my mom and my dad and my sister and I would go to Mexico, and they would drink, we would dance, we would shop, we ate well, we just lived very simply, but in another country, and it was very exciting, but it was also home, so I didn't realize how special it was. I didn't realize how different Mexico was from the United States, because most of my life was spent closer to Mexico than I felt like I was really immersed in the whole American, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe when you're raised in a city where two cultures have synced in a way, everyone's kind of adapted to each other. It's that cultural assimilation. And that can be kind of difficult to, I guess, decipher sometimes, especially being half Mexican and half Anglo. Whose side are you on? Do you have to choose? Do people want to define you? Do people put you in either category because of your language ability or the color of your skin? I passed as totally Mexican, but when they heard my poor Spanish, they as in just, I don't know, people, the general public, friends, family, more so strangers, right? Acquaintances. They're like, "Oh yeah, she's a white girl. She's not actually, born and bred Mexicana." Though I relate to it totally, culture-wise. It's funny, when I moved away from Brownsville, I went from being classified as a white girl, whatever that means, to being almost, people identify me as very Latin, I was so proud of Brownsville. It was so a part of who I was. I never thought I would leave at some point. I never really felt like I was totally a part of the city. I felt quite different in a way, like I was going to leave eventually, but maybe had I married the guy I was dating, or stayed in Mexico, or maybe had I never even went, what would have happened if I didn't go to college? Once you're in Brownsville, once you're in the Valley, once you're in a border city, maybe El Paso's different, but it's so tight and it's so family oriented, and a lot of what the Hispanic culture is all about is keeping the babies home, keeping everyone safe, staying within the family. You could never leave. You could potentially never leave. Your whole world becomes one tiny city. And it was a comfortable thought, but I couldn't do it. My mom was the only one of her 6 siblings to become college educated, so she, I think in that sense particularly, she was much different than my other aunts and uncles, because they didn't understand college. They didn't understand why you would ever leave. I think they actually kind of guilted me into staying, or tried to. But my mom understood, and my mom was pushing my sister and I out the door. Go, experience. There's a bigger world out there. And it's not like we didn't travel as a family. We had, traveled some. We'd been out of the state. I had other family in Alabama, so I knew a world existed outside of Brownsville. Obviously, the fact that I didn't speak Spanish like everybody else did. I may have understood it, and I could probably speak it, though I was shy, but that was a big kind of marker in Leanne being different. Words are symbols. When I think of Brownsville, and I know this is more than one word, think of sounds, you know, I think of sounds, I think of colors, I think of imagery. I think of seagulls and mariachi and busy traffic and, you know, elote trucks and, I don't know, sweet Spanish phrases and, I don't know, big open fields, however sugarcane sounds. Interesting? Those are really lame. I can't say interesting, that's horrible. Diverse is definitely, but is it though? It's 98% Hispanic. Like, I feel like if you're from a border city, it's very hard to explain it to those who don't know a thing about it.